I want to invite Shaykh Ahmad Saleem up here, inshallah. And as I mentioned earlier today, Shaykh, I'll read his bio as well, but he's someone I got to know over the last 18 months, a year and a half or so, is doing phenomenal work. And not only phenomenal work, is one of those people that as soon as they came into the community, mover and shaker. Everyone is like, what's going on? Who's this Shaykh Ahmad Saleem? What's going on? What's going on? Masjid Hamza. Why are they having 15 programs in 1 week and why do they have 300 people there? That is who Shaykh Ahmad Saleem is, and he continues to do that amazing work, alhamdulillah, at his own organization now, Muslim Wellness Center, which I'm sure he'll talk a little bit about. But Shaykh Ahmad Saleem is a seasoned Islamic scholar and educator with nearly 30 years of experience in da'wah and public speaking. He earned his Alamiya degree from Jamia al-Nooriyya al-Arabiyya with Ijaza in Quran, Fiqh, Tafsir, Aqidah, and Hadith. Alongside his Islamic learning, he holds a bachelor's in computer science and an advanced diploma in communications technology and an MBA. He's the founder of Deenagers, which is the main reason why we invited him to speak here today, inshallah, a youth identity program that has impacted over 1,000 teens and was instrumental in establishing one of Canada's earliest third space centers. He currently serves as resident scholar at the Islamic Center of Middle Georgia and leads the Muslim Wellness Center, travels across North America offering a unique 4-part weekend model, khutbah, family night, seminar, intensive workshop, providing well-rounded community engagement. Jazakallah khairan, brother Shaykh Ahmad Saleem. Without further ado.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ba'd. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilman ya kareem. All right. How's everyone doing? Alhamdulillah. Barakallah feek. Jazakallah khair, Dr. Samir. I don't know where she is, if she's here somewhere. There you are. Thank you so much for the presentation. You probably don't know this, but when we started Deenagers in Canada, the FYI infographics was one of the most important things that we used, and we realized that we need to do something about it because traditional Sunday schools were not going to fix the problems that we were facing. And I remember when I moved here, we used some of that data to try to do different programs, and the community feedback was, why are these problems coming to you, right? Or why is we've been here for 15 years, we've never heard of these problems. And the problem is, the reason for that is sometimes that the problems exist, but we're not seeking them out or we're not trying to address them. So really appreciate you meeting the person behind all of this. We've been using that. Our first ad that we did for Deenagers, we used a lot of I was trying to look for it so I could show you that was the first thing we did. So alhamdulillah, right, pleasure to meet you. And really benefited from the presentation. Most of it you did, my presentation, so I don't know what I'm going to do today, but I'll talk from my heart, inshallah. One of the things that she's, that the C's model that can I put it up? Okay. Maybe? You hold it while I write?
I'll be your prop.
Wow, mashallah, I feel so honored. Doesn't it have the holding thing at the top? Okay, you know what? It's okay. I'll talk about it. It's okay. If we need to write something, we'll do it. So instead of all the C's, I want to talk about something very important. Let's make it a little bit more interactive. What is the greater goal of parenting? We're all here for parenting. What's the greater goal of parenting?
Preparing them for the world.
To parent them, mashallah. Mashallah, you will be a great parent, Zubair. Mashallah. You're going to be like, Beta, I am here to parent you. Okay, my job is to be your parent. Okay, other than being a parent, what's the job? What's a greater goal of parenting? Next generation? Raise what? Raise a progeny that please Allah. Okay. Anybody else from the sisters? Children who serve Allah. Okay? Okay? Anybody else? What's the greater goal of parenting? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, equip them to face the challenges of life.
Equip them to face the challenges of life. It's very interesting.
Try to.
Very interesting. Love it. Yes, you had your hand out the back? To go to Jannah? So you can go to Jannah through your kids. MashaAllah, we do that all the time here, by the way. I went to Florida. They invited me for a center, and one of the person came to me and he's like, "Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum assalam. How are you doing, Imam? Alhamdulillah, so excited. I saw something." Blah, blah, blah. By the way, my first son is a Hafiz. My second son is a Hafiz. He's also a doctor. And my daughter-in-law is also a Hafiza. MashaAllah. And guaranteed Jannah. I have 3 pathways to it. And inshallah, my grandsons and daughters are also going to be Hafiz. Right? Although I don't show up to the masjid. Right? Because we delegate my Jannah onto the child. Right? So, the greatest goal of parenting is that you become worthy in your child's eyes to be their role model. That's the greatest goal of parenting. In the house, your son and daughter says, I want to be like dad. I want to be like mom. That's the greatest goal of parenting. I learned this when my kids were young. I met Dr. Akram Nadwi. Most of you know him. He was recently on a tour. He was visiting North America. I don't think he came towards this area, Atlanta and stuff. But I was having a dinner with Dr. Akram Nadwi and a few other people. We were invited to a conference in UK. And at that time, my kids were very young. And I asked him a question. And I said, I want to learn from your experience. Can you give me an advice about parenting? And Dr. Akram Nadwi said something which later was reinforced by this book called Screen-Free Parenting. If you've not read this book, you have to read it. It's called Screen-Free Parenting. The closest Western book to the real Islamic paradigm for parenting. Okay? Dr. Akram Nadwi said, Ahmed, you are not responsible for your children. Like, huh? Yeah. The whole life I thought I was responsible, I have to raise him after. He said, you are not responsible for your child. You're not the owner of your child. She said something in her presentation, it's an Amānah. What do we do with an Amānah? You are responsible towards the Amānah, not for the Amānah. They were never yours. Allah chose you and you and you and me to say, I'm going to entrust you this child. You're not responsible for them, you're responsible towards them. What does that mean? That means that your responsibility towards them is that you provide them a safe environment. Your responsibility towards them is because I become the best version of myself for them. Not make them the best version for themselves. The pure, the impure is focused on fixing the pure. A 13-year-old kid, how much sins does it have compared to a 45-year-old dad? Who has more spiritual connection? The 13-year-old. Even if he sinned every single day of his life, he has less sins than you as a father. Right? So the less impure, his focus is, I will fix this 13-year-old. And the second, the barrier that I have set is that I will make sure my 15-year-old daughter is going to be what I am today at 45. The way I was never like that at 15. But I want to make sure that my 15-year-old is going to be what I am today at 45. Maybe most of the sisters or brother, you didn't even have a beard, you were not coming to the masjid when you were 15. But now, alhamdulillah, at age 45 or 40 or what, in the 40s, I keep saying 40s because that's my age, but whatever, right? Like in the 40s. So, but 30, 50, whatever, you add your own age to it. The idea is, why are we doing that? Right? Why are we imposing something on that child? See, that child came perfect from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? What is the most difficult thing as an adult today, if I was to tell you, what is the most difficult thing through studies for an adult to learn when you become, an adult, is to pick up a new language. That child picked up an entire language without your intervention. Same with creativity. We were the ones that killed the creativity. We were the ones that said, if you don't score this much on your SAT, you're not worthy of me. Interesting thing, the SAT score has nothing to do with that child's akhirah. Allah is never going to ask your daughter or son, Beta kitne aaye the SAT? What was your score of SAT? Was it 1400, 1500? I don't even know what the number is. I'm Canadian, so we don't have SATs. Alhamdulillah. If you want to run away from SATs, come to Canada. Reality, right? So what's happening? Now there are 3 C's that are very important for us to understand. Creativity, confidence, character. There were a lot more C's on her slide, but let's focus on 3, okay? Right? And how we position them is very important, okay? So if I was to say that, let's just do this, creativity, character, and confidence. Okay, so we have these over here. Creativity, character, confidence. If I was to put them, which one should come? How should we draw the diagram? What's the most important thing here? What is the foundation here? Huh? Character? Okay, what else? Who said confidence? It's okay, you're not in trouble. He's like, for a second, he looked at me, he looked at his eyes, he turned his eyes left, turned his eyes right, then he's like, oh, nahi, man, no, it's not me. It's okay. Bilkul sahi answer. Your answer is correct. Confidence is the foundation. Okay? And the way you draw this in a better diagram, or bullet point, whatever, you'll do it today. You need confidence as the bedrock for your child to have character and creativity. Okay? So confidence kya hai? Not that your child is badtamizi and say, mashallah, kitna confidence. Mashallah, so much confidence. Mashallah, look at my child. He's swearing at people, mashallah, confidence. Right? No, I'm serious. I've met parents, your son is using foul language. Maybe you have to have a conversation. Nahi, but bichare ka confidence. I'm like, that's not confidence. Right? That's not confidence. If the child is swearing, the child has foul behavior, that's not confidence. Okay? That's a character issue. Right? Confidence is that the child believes that they can do everything. And my dad and my mom will support me. They've got my back. If they have a crazy idea, they'll come to you first. Right? I'm going to change the world. Right? And if they hear of their crazy idea, the most common thing that is, you can't put garbage out? You're gonna go out and gonna change the world? Jao, go. Right? Confidence is the child believes that my parents are gonna be there for me. Okay? What she said, the community is gonna be there for me. Okay? Now, and she elaborated on something, she touched on something. She said, there's something very important for the mothers. She said something about mothers. The new research that she said, we learned that mothers have to have something. Warmth. I read it in the ERDC. Do you know ERDC? Okay, you should know them. Education Research Development Center out of Karachi. Okay, Dr. Salman Asif Siddiqui. Phenomenal research because they're building psychology, they're building paradigms and frameworks where they're taking Islamic psychology as well as the current knowledge that we have in psychology and coming up with brand new models, ERDC. So Salman Asif Siddiqui, in his research, he says, the number 1 requirement for building a confident child that will eventually have good character and it will be able to provide creativity, they will have natural creativity. The number 1 requirement is a happy mother. Number 1 requirement. A happy mother, not an educated mother. A happy mother. We have too many educated mothers that are not happy. Degrees will not raise children. Oh yeah, but I have community, and we all did, like as Sister Samira said, right? We all were like, yeah, I had a different, like I have studied Imam Ghazali's, now I can fix my kids. They're not fixable. Right? They are guidable. You can tell them, better take this path. It's theirs to take. And you can be on the side, making sure that they take that for whatever period that they are in. Staying happy is the number one requirement. Without a happy mother in the house and a happy household, things can't happen. No, but I'm also gonna say something. No, I'm coming to that. You know, like I remember once, we had a family that they were discussing. They came to me. This is in Canada, and we were discussing. So I asked, "Beta, have you seen your mom happy and smiling?" She's like, "Yeah, all the time. Dusron ke samne." Others, whenever my mom meets other kids, MashaAllah, the happiness is just, "Beta, assalamualaikum, kaise ho?" She's so happy, but the minute she sees us, samosa rakho, put the samosa back, guests are here, right? That one samosa is not going to, it may look really bad for you, but it shatters that. So staying happy is number one. And by the way, in that meeting, the father was sitting there, and he said the same thing. He's like, the same. She's always happy with others, right? So what she referred to, that whatever happens between husband and wife, if we're not happy, the children can sense that. They can sense that. So next question. What happens when the household is happy? What's the consequence of a happy household? Whenever any parents come to me about their 20-year-old, 18-year-old, 14-year-old, ask them, just simple paper, on a scale of 10, ask the kids, how happy is your household? Right? Never happens if they're meeting me and I ask them this question. If they're there, it's usually under 5. Now, in the parent's mind, I have given him everything. I have got car, house, special purple mattress, whatever. Like I've got, all things that they don't want that. They'll sleep on the floor if they're happy. We think that through buying stuff, we can buy happiness. Providing a iPhone 16 to a 10-year-old, we can give them happiness. That's happy. Are you happy? Are you happy? What's her name? What's her name? Noura, are you happy? Very happy, mashallah. Excellent. Okay? What's the consequence of happiness? Who's going to tell me? What happens if the household is happy? What happens in the house? Something happens. Joy. What's another name for peace? Joy, happy. What happens? Relationships. And relationship is the first criteria for Tarbiya. So there is no curriculum. What we do provide, for example, in Deenagers, is environment. Number 2, today was a Saturday school that I did today in the morning. What do you think was the question everybody wanted to talk about? Who can tell me? And those that were there, don't talk about it. The shooting of Charlie Kirk. Now a traditional Sunday school kya kahega? What will they say? No, beta, I have seerah today. They're not ready for seerah. Like in the corridors, they're all talking about memes and right and wrong. They're trying to process this trauma. And every kid saw that video. One of the kids said, my 4-year-old brother saw the video and he started laughing, saying we should do more of that. 4-year-old child. And I'm like, what insensitivity has been developed by gaming? That a 4-year-old kid is saying we should have seen more of that. And he started laughing. The 4-year-old kid said, my brother started laughing. Oh, this is so funny. He died. So we scrapped the entire curriculum of today and we talked about, and it's not a lecture, processing, question, answer session. That's called relationship building. When the kids in Sunday schools talk to one another, they're trying to find friendships. But then we bring, or even in Islamic school sometimes, right? They're trying to build camaraderie because they're lacking that. And you have to be able to give them space to talk. Relaxed environment. And it's okay if they finish a 4-year school in 5 years. Kuch nahi hoga. Nothing will happen. It is perfectly fine. Okay, I missed 1 semester of school. Today, nobody cares about it. Nobody, like, koi nahi puchta. Okay, because I was so focused on playing badminton. Right? I would show up and never go to classes, and I would just sneak out to school to go play badminton because I wanted to be the world's best badminton player. Nobody cares about it today. I've never been asked about it. Right? Parents are concerned about things they shouldn't be concerned. Right? Second thing Dr. Akarman said to me, and this is something that's gonna hurt. It is what it is. He said something. He said, you cannot guide your children. Understand this today. You can just be standing on the path on the side and tell them this is the path. You can take them to a Sunday school, you can take them to an Islamic school, you can take them to all Muslim environments. You can have temporary conformity. They will conform temporarily. They will be good bacha, right? There are consequences. When we did an event at 967 with Shaykh Rasul, we had around 4 to 5 Muslim kids that came to us, youngest one being 13. And they were very upfront about it. They have checked out of Islam a long time ago. They're still wearing hijab and stuff, but they're not Muslims. And they're like, we're just waiting because I can't afford college. So I'll just let my dad pay for college. And the minute I'm out and I can figure things out, I'm gone. So I have questions. And I have been to, they're Fulton, North Fulton, by the way, area. I've been to 3 of the, and they mentioned Islamic Center names. I don't want to mention them. And none of the imams have a way to address the questions I have. This will not come in handy now. They'll come in handy when your child is going through a difficult time. They're trying to figure out how to be an adult. That time that you spent with them building that relationship, even though they didn't conform to your rules sometimes, is going to be more important. That they know that they have a dad that they can pick up the phone and call. I have a friend of mine recently, we got acquainted back again after a long time. And he told me that, he picked up golf as a hobby, golfing. I'm like, bro, what happened to you, bro? I'm like, you're still young, why are you doing golfing? He said, that's the only sport that I can play with my kids when I get old. So I'm getting good at golfing, and I'm taking my teenagers golfing so that they get addicted to it, so that when I am 55 and I can't play any sports, they can still come and play with me. So we can have conversations about life once a month or once a week. Okay? That's our role. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to practice. Again, we'll take up question and answer sessions. But most of my presentation, mashallah, you've covered some of the things and the things that I thought were missing I wanted to share. Barakallahu feekum. Yes. So purpose of life is the number one. And one of the kids even asked in the halaqah, like, what's my purpose of life? This is not an enough answer for them. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Allah has created you for worship. They're not getting an answer. Like, they're questioning Quran, so you cannot use the source that they're questioning to answer, right? Just as a community, I'll ask this question. What's the number one thing we need to be teaching our kids in Sunday schools and Islamic schools? The one subject that we should be drilling in their heads. No, you can't answer. You're my son.
I'm guessing.
Huh?
I'm guessing.
No, you're not guessing. I know you. Yes?
Basic details about Islam.
No. Yes? Aqidah. Creed. Why do we believe Allah? Impossibilities, possibilities. Like drilling that into our children. at a level that they're able to understand and decipher arguments that are presented. Okay? If they're able to do that, and if we're able to instill, look, teaching them fiqh and tahara and salah comes secondary. Even Rasulullah ﷺ, when he sent Mu'adh ibn Jabal to Yemen, right? What did he say? Oh Mu'adh, you're about to go and embark on a journey. And the people that you're going to give da'wah to, they are Nasara. فَأَوَّلُ مَا تَدْعُوهُمْ إِلَيْهِ, the first thing you need to call them is tawḥīd Allah ta'ala. The first thing is not 5 daily prayers. What happens to a new Muslim that we're trying to convert? Like anybody trying to convert their brother, like, brother, there's 5 daily prayers, there's siyam, there's, oh, by the way, 30 days you won't be able to drink water, and then all this, and then if you're a man, like, and then there's also a special procedure we need to do on you. And the guy's like, astaghfirullah, what is this? What kind of, like, Rasulullah told Mu'adh ibn Jabal, أول ما تدعوهم إليه توحيد الله تعالى فإن انقادوا لذلك, when they submit to the oneness of Allah, the word is very important. Then Rasulullah said, ثُمَّ عَلِّمْهُمُ الصَّلَاةِ, then you teach them salah. So our first primary responsibility in centers like these or any other centers is always have a structured program around creed. For younger kids, it's different. For older kids, it's different. Younger kids, you want to talk about the names of Allah, tawḥīd, Allah is Rahman, merciful. Get them acquainted with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But as they become teenagers, what is important is to have discussions at a very deeper level about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And no questions are off the table. Okay. Make dua, inshallah. I'm trying to get Dr. Hamza Karamali, who is like a specialist in this, right? To be able to come to Atlanta. He hasn't accepted the invite, but I grew up with him. So I'm telling him, you know, the dodgeball that I beat you in a Sunday school, because he was my Sunday school teacher. But mashallah. So he has this program called Islam with No Doubts. And that program is phenomenal. I even told some of the imams to go take it when he was teaching in Canada. They came back, they're like, we never knew that you can address these issues, right? From science and all of that. So hopefully, inshallah, he comes. Barakallahu feek, I'm not going to take too much of your time. You know, Zubair has been doing his hands like this.
No.
Trying to give me signals and I'm not getting it. So, inshallah, barakallahu feek. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.